Biden was president, it was everything about the eggs, the price of eggs. We got to lower the price of eggs. And now Trump retweeted somebody last week who said, shut up about the eggs. $5 trillion in 3 weeks, and we have only ourselves to blame. Trump said this would happen if we re-elected Biden. And Americans are like, but we need eggs. What else are we going to throw at the Teslas?
Trump once said, in my world, middle class means anyone who owns at least one private jet. Okay, he didn't actually say that, but his policy sure did. Bill Maher exposes the economic comedy show that was the Trump presidency. While Trump was busy tweeting about stock market highs, American farmers were getting crushed by his trade war, and factory workers watched their jobs disappear. Funny how he never mentioned that part, right? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Whenever Donald Trump brags about being a business genius, Bill Maher can't help but laugh. Trump loves telling everyone he's the best businessman ever.
You also have to respect that, the guy did win. It's more than half the country or whatever. I mean, yes. I keep saying it. I'm not going to hate. You can not like Trump. You can hate him. I'm not playing this game that you mean girls play.
Yes.
Where like, oh, you know what? You can't sit at my lunch table because I'm just not talking to you. I don't hate half the country, and I don't want to hate half the country.
Yeah.
It's just not where my mind ever wants to go for my own mental health.
Yeah.
Is all this hate.
Yeah.
So yes, I will talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But Maher recently pointed out the hilarious truth. This so-called business wizard somehow managed to bankrupt 3 casinos. Think about that for a second. Casinos are literally designed to take people's money. The house always wins, unless Trump owns the house. How does someone bankrupt a casino? Maher asked his audience, who erupted in laughter. That's like failing a breathalyzer test at an oxygen bar. The comedian's brutally honest take highlights what many financial experts have been saying for years. Trump's business track record is more comedy than success story. Remember Trump Airlines? It crashed faster than a paper airplane in a hurricane.
Trump wants to bring back manufacturing, and to get the ball rolling, he is manufacturing a recession. Trump puts these amazingly large tariffs on other countries, and when the countries respond with their tariffs, he acts shocked at their disrespect. He plays, let's spin the big tariff wheel. Woo! Round and around she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Trump University turned out to be about as educational as watching paint dry and ended with a $25 million settlement. And who could forget those juicy Trump steaks sold at the Sharper Image? Because nothing says quality meat like buying it where you get your electric back massagers. Maher calls this Trump's reverse Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to garbage. Trump vodka failed spectacularly in a country where people love drinking. Trump magazine folded faster than a lawn chair. His football team in the USFL bankrupted the entire league. The man couldn't sell gambling, booze, or football to Americans. That's like failing to sell sand in a desert. Trump's business strategy, Maher explained, is like a toddler playing Monopoly. Buy everything, build hotels everywhere, throw a tantrum when you run out of money, and then flip the board over when you're losing. The audience howled because they recognized the truth in the joke. What's particularly telling is how Trump handled warnings about his reckless spending. When financial advisors cautioned him against taking on $3 billion in debt for the Taj Mahal casino, what did he do? He fired them. As Maher puts it, Trump was firing the people trying to save him from financial disaster.
Yeah, the stock market has lost $5 trillion in 3 weeks. Yes, Trump, he's the Ozempic of the economy. Today, Greenland offered to buy us. There are CEOs out there begging Luigi Mangione to shoot them in the back of the head.
It's an honor to be invited to the White House under any circumstances.
Absolutely.
This pattern of rejecting expert advice when it doesn't match what he wants to hear became a defining feature of his presidency too. Remember when Trump's economic advisors suggested his trade war might hurt American farmers? Or when they warned his tax plan would balloon the deficit? They didn't last long in his administration. Trump prefers yes men over smart men, loyalty over expertise. As Maher noted, he treats economic advisors like contestants on The Apprentice. Agree with me or you're fired. The biggest joke of all might be how Trump convinced working-class Americans he would be their economic champion, despite his history of stiffing contractors, outsourcing manufacturing for his own products, and declaring bankruptcy to avoid paying debts. Maher compared it to asking a serial arsonist to be your fire safety inspector.
I don't hate half the country, and I don't want to hate half the country.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not where my mind ever wants to go for my own mental health.
Yeah.
Is all this hate.
Yeah.
So yes, I will talk to anybody.
Yeah.
Trump puts these amazingly large tariffs on other countries, and when the countries respond with their tariffs, he acts shocked at their disrespect. Trump wants to bring back manufacturing, and to get the ball rolling, he is manufacturing a recession. There are CEOs out there begging Luigi Mangione to shoot them in the back of the head.
So what did regular Americans actually get from Trump's much-hyped tax cuts? While corporations and billionaires received permanent tax breaks, middle-class families got what Maher described as just enough of a tax break to afford an extra package of ramen noodles. The average middle-class tax cut amounted to about $1,000 per year, which sounds decent until you realize it was temporary, while the corporate cuts were permanent. Meanwhile, the national debt skyrocketed by nearly $8 trillion during Trump's single term. What's truly remarkable is how Trump manages to fail upward. Most people who bankrupt multiple businesses, get sued thousands of times, and leave a trail of unpaid bills would struggle to get a loan for a used car. But somehow, Trump convinced millions that his business disasters qualify him to run the largest economy in the world. It's like hiring the captain of the Titanic to teach a course on navigation because he has experience with icebergs. Even more baffling, he's still using the same playbook. Promise everything. Take credit for anything good. Blame others for failures. Never admit mistakes. As Maher observed, Trump's relationship with the truth is like his relationship with his wives, temporary and expensive to get out of. So what's the real legacy of Trump's economic wizardry? As Bill Maher perfectly summed up, Trump's presidency was basically a carbon copy of his business strategy. Make grand promises, slap his name on everything, hire questionable people, take on massive debt, and then walk away claiming victory while others clean up the mess. That's the Trump playbook, folks. Fail your way to the top and call it success. The next time someone tells you Trump was amazing for the economy, just ask them which economy they're talking about. Because as Maher hilariously pointed out, in Trump's world, middle class means anyone who owns at least one private jet. The truth is painfully obvious. His policies weren't designed for regular folks like you and me. Remember Maher's perfect description of Trump's economic approach. Trickle-down economics is just rich people peeing on your leg and telling you it's raining money. And boy, did Trump make sure his wealthy buddies were hydrated.